Hey folks, my name's Anthony Hudson. I'm running for governor here in the great state of Michigan. And a couple of weeks ago, I put up a video about a horrible experience down in the 10th congressional district in St. Clair Shores, where I was invited to go to a picnic and talk to people and get signatures and blah, 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 whatever. When I got there, I had to introduce myself and ask them where they wanted me to put a table. They told me where to put the table, and they also told me I owed them $100 for me and the 3 people that were with me, 2 volunteers and my youngest son, for the food that we were going to eat at the event. And I said, okay, let me go get my checkbook. I'll get you paid. About an hour into it, hour and a half into it, this older woman in her 80s probably, come up to my volunteer at the table and started yelling at him, telling him that we can't get signatures at that event. Well, yeah, we can. We can get signatures anywhere we want. She was telling us that we weren't supposed to be there. We weren't invited. They didn't want us there, and that they could ask us to leave at any time. And I stepped in and I said, no, we're not going anywhere. We were invited. We're here. We're minding our own business. You're not even letting candidates talk today. You didn't even announce that we were here. And I'm running for governor. And she said, this is John James country. Okay, well, you're part of the establishment. You're part of the problem. She also said that she was the chair of the district, which I find is hard to believe because I was told someone else was the chair, but who am I to question an old woman, right? So Teresa, the actual chair of the 10th congressional district, called me this morning yelling at me, telling me to take down my video. And I said, no, I'm not going to. She goes, well, you're lying about me. I said, no, I'm not. I'm speaking on behalf of the person who said they were the district chair. And if that's false, you need to go to her and have your beef with her. Otherwise, take me to court. I'm going to expose the corruption in the Republican Party, and I'm going to let people know about all the crap that you guys are spewing. If that woman's not the chair, you should be going after her, telling her she needs to identify herself correctly so that there are no mistakes. But let me be clear. Teresa never came over to me and told me to leave. It was some older woman with an attitude, probably doped up on coke or something. I don't know. But she thought she was the biggest dog in the park, yelling at my volunteer, and I simply will not stand for that from anyone. So, just to be clear, Teresa didn't try to run us off. Some older fake fraud who claimed to be the district chair decided she was going to tell us that this was John James country and that we needed to leave. And as always, we stayed. Anyway, I'm Anthony Hudson for governor. Why not?